strike. Counter strikes nose in front of Bodenheimer, and here comes Mischievous Rogue, who's just storming, splashing home for Luan Machado. Mischievous Rogue going away by 2, by 3. Mischievous Rogue scoring by 4. Gets the Hodges photo. Wins the Canterbury from Metzger Memorial. The National HPPA founding partner with Claiming Crown, now in its 25th year. The proud graduate of LSU, Eric Hamelback, making the trophy presentation.
Great for me. He never ran the slop track like this, in this kind of tight suit, so I think it helped too, for him to feel comfortable in the track.
Forecast, and I said, I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm probably a no. I'm probably out.
Well, first you said you were out. Then you said you left it open just a teeny crack. You said probably not run.
Out.
Yeah. But I mean, when did you decide you were going to run?
When did I decide I was going to run? This morning when we kept talking, me and her back and forth, and I was kind of against running the horse, really.
And I wasn't.
She wasn't. She wanted to run. So
here we are. We don't ship down here. Just
and I had about 10 other people that really kept calling me saying, he's got a big Tomlinson number for the mud. You need to run.
He does. That's a Candy Road mare. It's all.
But you sent me that. You sent me that picture of the water on the track. I mean, are you surprised that forget the horse running, that they're running it all?
I didn't think they would run at all. When I seen the water this morning in the barn area was up, it was up over the tires.
I told him New Orleans lives in a hole. I said they're used to this mud and slop. They'll have it straightened out by race time.
We watched a couple races and felt like it was safe. I actually called him after the first race and said, what are the other jocks saying in the room? And he said, everybody says it's good. So I was like, well, let's run.
He's a homebred.
You don't see too many of those in the Claiming Crown that somebody's had them that long.
Because he's been, got lucky. You're running for a tag once or twice.
Well, the horse had a long layoff. We gelded him and stuff, and when he came back, we ran him for 20 the first time. That's where we felt like he was. We weren't trying to do anything out of line, and when he got back on the poly turf, he took off and
sprinting on the turf.
I'll tell you, the horse has just really gotten good too at this time. I told her the horse can't be doing any better. When I got here, he shipped good.
You don't scratch those guys.
He's really training like.
And he had a perfect opportunity to say, "Oh, you ran bad because it was on the turf slop and you wanted to run." And I was going to take the fall, and I just said, "I'll take the hit."
Right?
Yeah, built-in excuse. I was like, "You can't go. Nothing's going to happen here, Dougie. He's either going to win or run bad. Either way, you got an excuse."
The way he won with the authority, are either of you? I mean, that's jaw dropping.
Well, that's another thing. We watched a lot of the races today, and I told him in the paddock, I said, you're in the inside. You got to work a trip and get off the rail, and these horses are all closing. I said, don't try to get in a big rush. There's a lot of speed in the race, and just try to get him outside and see what he can do in the slop, because none of us know.
So obviously, with the breeding of this horse, he was well intended.
Always has.
As a young horse, and so was it just kind of frustrating?
My husband and I have a farm in Florida, and we had a material training sale. We had every intention of selling him. Got 254. Carol, God love her, she says, "I love him. Let's run him." I said, "It's your horse. Have at it." And he's just worked out great, and he's gotten better with age, and just figured out the surface he wants and the distance, and he's just flourishing, which is great.
So he went through the ring and got 250. You said,
we brought him back. We brought him back for that. I mean, and I had people come back to the barn and wanted him offered more. She said, "No, I'm keeping him." I said, good. So it's nice when they work out.
And early on, I felt like the horse had a lot of talent, but I never could get it out of him. I mean, even Brian Hernandez rode him early on for me at Turfway once, and he said, whatever you do, run the horse back at Churchill. So I took him over to Churchill, and he threw craps again. And I looked at him after the race, and I'm like, man, the horse has talent, but he hadn't shown it yet. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you to go with that. And,
the mare's back in foal to Mandaloon, who's a son of Into Mischief, so we hope that cross works good too.
But still, even though his form hadn't been good, the decision to cut an Into Mischief.
That's easy. When they're running like that, it don't matter who they're by. You want to race.
If he makes $6 million later, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
So, I mean, where do we go from here with this horse now?
Well, you just don't know. We have to map out a plan for the horse going forward. But ultimately, it's probably to get back to Keeneland. He loves the turf there, and try to get him back on the grass.
Summer campaign on grass.
I mean, you think he's a stakes type horse? Could be a stakes type horse?
Possibility that the horse is a stakes caliber horse. So
he needs Lasix. That's the problem.
Why we need to sit down and sit down and make out a plan for the horse.
You've also got Next in the barn. And he's really, really long on dirt, and this is a sprinter on turf. Kind of a nice combination to have.
Hey, fast horses can run. Anybody can train a good horse. You know, it's the bad ones that no one can train. So
Well, they can't pigeonhole you as a long dirt trainer now. You got 5.5 on the dirt. Not that you need that.
Slop's not even better than dirt.
Doug, someone told you this morning you were going to win this by open lanes. When you thought, wait a minute, I may not even be in the starting game.
If you told me that this morning, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if I really believed that the horse was absolutely way out of line and everything was out of line, I would have went and said, hey, we have to scratch.
No, that's the only thing I said to Doug this morning was, if you think it's unsafe, you have every right
we
to scratch
tossed this
it.
around.
But if
I
the
didn't
track's
go
good-
calling saying we got to scratch. I just wanted to make everybody aware of what we had in the situation because I think she's known me a long time. I'm a super methodical person.
No, I know. You're panicking.
I
He's like washing out in the
think about
paddock. I was
everything
like,
going on all
calm
the
down.
time.
You got it out if he runs bad. Don't worry.